Greetings, Leo and Leo rising. This is your Western forecast for 2025. This year is a major paradigm shift that I did a separate video describing how it's impacting society, humanity at large. The reason for it is that every single planet is going to change signs. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, these are the outer planets that impacts humanity and society. They're all changing signs this year. This is incredibly rare. I don't know the last time, but it certainly would be 100 or 200 years, maybe more. So it's a very rare event. This is why I'm calling it a paradigm shift. Each planet represents an influence that's going to change, and they're all changing. Now, in that 2025, a paradigm shift video, I was discussing how all the divisiveness and fear we've been feeling in recent years the heat is going to start being turned down. And we're going to start becoming more together, closer again. There'll always be that small group that is, all that negativity. But we're moving into more of a healing of all of humanity, because Pluto, the planet of transformation, profound change, had been in Capricorn from 2008 to the end of 2024. Capricorn's very controlling and elitist. It rules government, it rules authoritarianism, and all that brought up a lot of fear. But from the very end of November, Pluto's now in Aquarius, and it'll be in Aquarius for 20 years. So it takes time to turn so much heat down. But when Aquarius, transformational Pluto in Aquarius represents brotherhood, friendships, humanity, community. And so it's going to be a slow, deep healing that brings the heat down and brings us closer together. Now, before I talk about and zoom out of Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, these big outer planets that are life-changing and how it's impacting your individual sign, in my other forecast video, I talked about it, society at large. In a few minutes, I'm going to be talking about how it's impacting you individually. But before I zoom out, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Now, let me zoom in first. Mars is that planet of aggression, ambition, courage. It's the warrior planet in mythology. January, we start the year, Mars is retrograde. If you've been watching my videos, I've been discussing Mars every 2 years, retrogrades. It retrograded December the 6th till February the 23rd. Mars in retrograde. In Cancer, Cancer is the shadow sign before Leo. That can bring in a depression, frustration, anxiety in the worst case scenario. But there's some support. And come February the 23rd, the Mars goes direct, releasing all this frustrating energy, this blocked energy, especially being in the 12th house of the shadow, until April the 17th, which then goes into Leo, and you're going to be feeling so much more excited and motivated and confident. But these first 4.5 months of Mars in your 12th, if there was no support, you could be feeling stuck and frustrated and maybe depressed, exhausted. And there might be some of that, especially with the retrograde for the first 2 months. But Saturn is in Pisces from March of 2023 to the end of May 2025. Saturn is grounding, stabilizing, focused, disciplined energy when it's favorable. Saturn is in Pisces, a water sign, in harmony to the ambitious, assertive Mars in Cancer, a water sign. So the Saturn is going to help channel and discipline and focus all that Mars ambition. Mars being in the 12th house, behind the scenes, but supported by pragmatic Saturn, tells me that many Leos, for the first 4.5 months, can be very, 3.5 months, can be very favorable for developing behind-the-scenes projects. Because the Mars is working in the shadow sector behind the scenes, but many times, especially with the retrograde initially, you could be feeling really stuck and frustrated, but the Saturn is keeping you focused and disciplined. So you're not giving up. You're working hard, building whatever, learning or building, establishing whatever it is, to then begin to be presented to the world, to be debuted when ambitious Mars goes into Leo on April the 17th into May. Venus is the planet of love and harmony and creativity. It's retrograding March the 1st through April the 11th. Venus retrogrades every 1.5 years. Mars retrogrades every 2 years. There's a lot of resetting of personal energies that goes along with every single planet going to be changing signs, creating all that anxiety and stress. But the Venus, when it retrogrades, it tests, or it causes it to want to reevaluate their relationships, but also their desires and creativity. Venus will be in Aries in your 9th house. That could be, 9th house could be travel, since Venus can be very pleasure oriented, and when it's retrograde, you may have to change your travel itinerary, or your expectations may be more disappointed. Or you might be reevaluating your educational plans or publishing plans of the 9th house. Now let's pull back. Neptune is moving into Aries the first time in 166 years on April the 1st, and just giving us a preview till October 22nd, when the Neptune moves back into Pisces. Make sure you learned your lessons before it moves back into Aries in February 2026. Now, if it was just, if the Neptune wasn't supported favorably like it is now, because all the outer planets are supporting each other, but it's just that they're all changing signs, that's a little nerve-wracking. But as the dust settles, they're all supporting one another. So when Neptune is still feeling unsure, all the 9th house of education, of publishing, of traveling, of legal matters. It's all under the domain of the ninth house, with Neptune could be triggering a lot of uncertainty and anxiety. But Saturn, grounded taskmaster Saturn, is moving into Aries, as it does about every 30 years, May the 24th. Just giving us a preview till September the 1st, when it retrogrades back into Pisces, tying up loose ends before it moves back into Aries in February 2026, joining Neptune that, returned back to Aries. Then we're going to have Saturn and Neptune together, which is a very big deal. And it occurs only once every 36 years. But because Pluto is in Aquarius, an air sign, Uranus is in Gemini, an air sign, air is compatible to fire. Neptune, Saturn in Aries, fire. Now, Neptune represents the vision, the dream. Saturn, because it's all more positively supported, Saturn can help manifest the dream. Make the dream, the vision more real and possible. Dealing with ninth house matters. Maybe getting your college degree. Maybe publishing a book. Maybe opening up an online business. Getting a law degree. These are all the ninth house, or moving abroad, or doing a lot of international travel. That's all the ninth house. And by the end of May, June, they get very close, within a degree or so, but then they pull back. They don't come together at 0 degrees of Aries until February the 20th, 2026. When any planet changes signs, it's moving into that 0 degrees. There's 30 degrees in a sign. But 0 degrees of Aries is the most significant of all the 0 degrees, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac and 0 degrees is the beginning. So it's a very powerful degree of new beginnings. And your Saturn-Neptune conjunction, well, for the whole world, next February, the 20th, 2026, will be at 0 degrees of Aries in your ninth house. So wherever you're directed towards with ninth house, from a higher degree to publishing, media, marketing, the Saturn-Neptune is making the dream real. Now, Jupiter is the planet of opportunity and growth and expansiveness. It changes signs every year. But it's been in Gemini, in your 11th of your long-range goals and aspirations, getting support from friendships and organizations from the end of May 2024 till June the 9th, 2025. At which point, Jupiter, expansive Jupiter, goes into Cancer for 1 year through the end of June 30th, 2026. But Jupiter is moving into the 12th. Now, remember, the first 3.5 months, we had Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, in your 12th house. So you've been working on some kind of goal project behind the scenes, or trying to get your college degree, let's say, or getting that book published and finished. That could have been all that Mars in the 12th house. Then the Jupiter going into Cancer, into the 12th house, this June for 1 year, that's when you can start to see the benefits of what you've been working on behind the scenes, or what you get started behind the scenes of development. With the Jupiter, now it's not really ready to fully launch, because it starts to grow bigger. It starts to look like it's more hopeful and real. So you're giving more attention to it, which goes along with that Saturn-Neptune conjunction for the whole world, where we can make our dreams more of a reality. Now, Uranus is the planet of liberation, innovation, rebellion. Uranus represents technology. And for the first time in 84 years, it's moving into Gemini, the sign of information and communications. It begins July the 7th, we get a preview, to November the 7th, where it retrogrades back into Taurus until we get into the first part of 2026, and it's back into Gemini. Now, Gemini is 11 signs past Leo. Uranus is all this innovative, exciting, progressive energies. The 11th house could activate a few things. The 11th house deals with our long-range goals and aspirations. So you could be getting involved with some new ideas and technology that you're getting really excited about for your future. The 11th house deals with teamwork, organizations, group activities, even friendships. And that Uranus could be bringing friends and groups together for new technologies. Now, Pluto, let's go back to Pluto, because I just talked about Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is so great for bringing the temperature down with all this divisiveness, because Aquarius represents humanity and friendships. But Aquarius is opposite Leo. And I've been talking about this because Pluto is going in and out of Aquarius in 2023. So if you've been watching any of my Leo videos, I've been talking about how transformational Pluto has been triggering your 7th house of marriage, of partnerships. But because the Pluto is in harmony with the Neptune and the Uranus, you could get a lot of support from a partner, a business partnership, marriage. Now, Uranus is that progressive liberating energy, is in the 11th house of friendships from this July to October approximately. But Pluto is in Aquarius. And so Uranus, especially August through the beginning of October, Uranus will be trining or in harmony with Pluto. This brings a whole new insight and perspective, but the Pluto is coming from the 7th house of partnerships, and Uranus is coming from the 11th house of friendships. So you could be with a friend or with a group of friends, forming this whole new business partnership with the vision of the Neptune-Saturn in the 9th. Well, that could be, when we're dealing with partnerships here, it's probably more of like a major online business or some technology startup with a few friends and associates. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next year, be safe and well.